All right, and welcome back to the broadcast. Appreciating that comprehensive report by our very own Mike Kagongo. And so we shift gears to a quick conversation on that, but of course extensively looking at the political situation in the country. And this evening we are delighted to be joined. I mean, we expected 4 guests. We actually had them on board, but they could not withstand the heat in here. And so some of them have decided to exit the stage, but we certainly hope that they can contribute from wherever it is that they are. But all the same, the conversation continues. We have Honorable Gloria Orwoba, who is a nominated senator. Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa, for creating time. How have you been? It's been a minute since we were last on set together.
Yeah.
And of course, Mheshimiwa too. The last time we were on set together, it was in the morning show. So it's good to have the two of you join us this evening. Jane Kihara, as well, Member of Parliament of Naivasha. Asante sana for creating time. Umetoka wa Munyoro.
Nimetoka wa Munyoro.
Paint a picture of what Kenyans are supposed to expect. I mean, you know, we get to see some of these things that are said down on ground. 3 minutes of, you know, perhaps, of course, a clip running and making rounds. What do we anticipate? What do we expect? What should the people of the mountain then expect from Wamunyoro?
What we are praying for and we are trying to have is to have a repeat of 2000 when leaders decided to join and remove a government that was very much against the people of Kenya. So today we had the principals.
Right.
Okay, it was a return visit by Honorable Martha Karua, Excellency. You know, sometime last year, Rig G and his team went to visit Martha. And then Martha decided to come with her friends.
Okay. So
we ended having a beautiful, beautiful meeting because we had Honorable His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka, we had Eugene Wamalwa, we had Kipruto Kilwa, we had who else was there? And of course Rick G was there, and other leaders of very high.
We're told that Matiang'i as well sent his regards in relation.
No, he didn't send his regards. He came.
He came.
He came. Only that he came late. Sorry.
Yes.
He came,
and that has to be highlighted.
He came a bit late.
Yes.
But he was in tune. Whatever that was happening, they have agreed to work together, and we, as their followers, we are telling them this is the only way to remove this regime. Yes.
All right. You must agree that Matiang'i is joining forces with this, ladies and gentlemen. But how can they delicately approach this, and especially when we're looking at Rigathi Gachagua and Martha Karua, without sounding like they are selling an agenda of one tribe? Because we have seen Rigathi Gachagua pronounce himself on the very same matter. And I see online people reacting to these stories and they're like, you know what, while we appreciate that we are having people who have a common goal of unseating a regime they're not happy with, we kind of feel like there's a tribalist agenda that is being projected.
First of all, Alela, you have made so many assumptions in your question.
Yes.
The first assumption being
based on what is the people are saying.
No, the first assumption you have made is Matiang'i is joining this team. That is an assumption.
Endorsing, or perhaps we have
all
seen
of
them
that
together.
is an assumption.
We cannot overlook the fact that we have seen them together.
You know,
and we know that
until people make pronunciations,
yes,
you should never assume. Because what I've learned in this short period of time that I've been in politics is, it all appears to be something until someone speaks, right?
Right.
So don't make assumptions.
Which he has. He has spoken today, Senator Orwoba. I was there. He has spoken. He said that he's joining the team as long as the agenda is to remove this regime. It's fine. He's already in the team. Let me alert you. Maybe
you see, Alela, I have been in the recent past. Yeah, I have been very careful with making utterances or giving assumptions. And what I can tell you is that people have agendas. Everyone has an agenda. They are presidential candidates, and some agendas are not you know, in line with the other people's, the other candidates. What I am aware of is that right now there seems to be, let me say, an opening. People have seen like there is a vacancy, and they have decided they are going to put their best foot forward. And in terms of an alliance, of whether people are coming together to remove someone, that's one thing. But I want to believe that the ones, particularly for Dr. Fred Matiang'i, who I have had a personal conversation with, he seems to be very, very focused on having an agenda that is for the people. Having an agenda that is about how are we going to fix what is broken. And I tend to believe that his agenda is one, that Kenyans are looking for leadership that they resonate with, and that there are problems in the country that need to be fixed.
Let me ask this, because it is clear that Mheshimiwa Jane is on the other side. Are you officially endorsing the possibility of Matiang'i candidature, and that is, or candidacy to presidency? And am I seeing you shifting allegiance?
What you're seeing, Alela, is, and you know, anyone who has followed me, like, literally since I lifted up that Bible and was sworn in as a specially elected senator to represent women and girls in the Senate of Kenya. What you have seen is me persistently trying to ensure that the promises that we made to the women of Kenya are being fulfilled. Alela, I have been in this studio from campaign 2020, 21, 22. And eventually when I sat here, and I was very happy because we launched a women charter. In that charter, Alela, was everything that made me come back to this country to join politics. In that charter was the passion that I still have, right? In terms of, when people ask you, why did you join politics? I say, because it is in politics that you're able to change policy, to change a trajectory of the lives of people. It is in politics that as a woman, you can go in and say, listen, we bleed, give us pads, and people will not look at you as a crazy person. It's in politics that you can really, really shift a lot of things.
Did you do that as a Kenya Kwanza group?
I, together with many passionate women under the Kenya Kwanza Alliance, came together and we drafted this very beautiful charter. And it was not an overly ambitious charter. It is a charter that we understand, that we sat down, you know, and we literally crafted and said, these are the things that are wrong, that touch on the lives of women, and this is what we would like our candidate. At that time, our candidate was His Excellency William Ruto. We would like our candidate, and we sat with him and said, we want you to do this for the women of Kenya. And if you can append your signature to these things that we want you to do, then as the women who are in this campaign, we are going to lead a very strong campaign in all the 47 counties, and we are going to convince our fellow women and tell them, our candidate, this is what our candidate is going to do for the women of Kenya. You know
Jane
what
Kihara
I mean?
was part of that.
Jane Kihara was part of it.
2022, 2023, 20.
Of course I was.
We went round.
There are many charters.
No, but I'm specifically talking about the women charter.
Let me say this, because this is one of them that has not been fulfilled.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I was looking for.
Yes,
Fulfilled or not?
It's not been accomplished. It's not even been started. So to speak, she's been fighting for it, for the young girls, for the pads or anything. He signed, the president signed a youth charter. We went this country to have economic forums, or in all the counties. In fact, we expected Ruto to get into the office and start working because he had the agenda. Every county had told them, this is what we want, this is what we want, this is what we want. But when he got there, he started his own things. He's completely forgotten that, including one with church. I remember they signed a memorandum with the church. So he dropped everything that he was told by Kenyans they would want. He's doing his own things.
Alela, maybe if I can just thank you, thank you, Mhesh, for that. You see, possibly I am one of the most misunderstood legislators. And I understand it's also the way I express myself, or in my actions, or in how I conduct myself. People might misconstrue it for many things, including drama. But you know, the people who are most pained by the failures of this government, to be honest, are the people who are inside the government.
Okay.
You know why? Because I have to walk with this charter. I go home, they ask me, what is your guy doing? Everywhere I go, I am the face of this government. And I have to constantly explain things that sometimes I can't even explain.
Gloria, you will agree with me that it takes more than one individual to run a country.
And that is why...
And I want to assume that you as leaders then failed us, because, I mean, why is it that you have allowed for the president
I am sitting here, Alela, and saying, and that is why you see me now getting so frustrated to the extent that I'm going to the airport to welcome people, you know? I am frustrated because it's been like 2 years of me shouting. You can't see that because I'm shouting in the... When my Mheshimiwa was in the platforms, she knows what I'm talking about.
Right.
I'm shouting in the platforms. I'm shouting in State House. I'm shouting at everyone, telling them, guys, this is what we're supposed to do. This is where... I am going to the cabinet secretaries, telling them this. When they are failing, I am the first one to go and say, these ones are failing. I am busy.
Gloria,
and you know what is happening is that I've made so many enemies internally, in the process of trying to ensure that this charter that we promise the people of the women of Kenya is being fulfilled. And then when I come outside, I have to swallow it all and sit here and pretend that everything is okay.
And it takes a bold person, Gloria Orwoba, to step aside and say that, yes, my boss is not doing the right thing, and I think I cannot agree with them anymore. The ladies and gentlemen that Jane Kihara has mentioned have also been moving around the country, seeking concerns about the current regime. And some of them have also, you know, exhibited their interest in terms of wishing to, to unseat the current president, maybe to get the Kenya Kwanza government out. Why is it that you have not shifted allegiance in these times, and you shift at this very point, if at all you have?
I have not shifted allegiance.
Not just yet.
I have not, because my allegiance has always been on the charter. Okay. My allegiance has always been.
No, we're talking about party politics.
No, but you see, what is a party? What is a party?
Are you in support? Are you endorsing? Are you in support?
Alela, listen to me first. When you ask me a question, I have to answer.
All right,
what is a party? What is a party? When you say this is a party, what is it?
Okay.
It is a group of people. It is an organization that has got values.
Okay.
That is guided by something that they believe in, that has a leader who inspires them. That is a party.
Okay.
Otherwise, Alela, in this studio now we can say this is a party. There has to be something. When you go to ODM, they'll tell you what kind of a party they are. What kind of movements, where you expect ODM to be.
All right.
UDA has its values that I hold so dearly.
Okay.
UDA has even our regulations, our rules, what we believe in. Our party leader, I was recruited. I don't have any agents in between. Everybody knows this. I was recruited directly by my party leader because he saw that I believed in the party's values, the party's ideologies, and what the party was promising the people of Kenya. I have not shifted. The party has shifted.
The party has
shifted. Party has shifted.
Hold it right there.
You know, I am talking about the charter. And allow me just to highlight...
Because we need to have Mheshimiwa as well.
Let me just highlight 5 things.
Very quick.
And you know the charter is big, this women charter is big, and I'll just highlight 5 things. Under economic empowerment, which we have not touched, like 5 things. 30% of access to government procurement to women. I am sitting in the Labour Committee day in and out, looking at books of people who are not giving 30% to women.
Okay.
When you go to the measures that are taking on preventing... we said we are going to take measures for the prevention and punishment of sexual harassment at the workplace. My dear, you know my story. You know what I've been going through. You have seen what has become the outcome of that. My party had a charter that signed and said they will protect women in the workplaces. Look at me. You go to leadership. I'm just highlighting. We were supposed to give 50% of cabinet positions to women. We never reached that.
Okay.
We even had this handshake, government, whatever, broad-based. We were supposed to at least use that opportunity to make it 50%. We didn't reach that. We were supposed to ensure 2/3 gender rule was implemented within 12 months when we won the election. Within 12 months. Alela, we're in year 3. Guess what? When we did this broad-based, what did they call the dialogue? I forget what we are calling
the NADCO report.
The NADCO report.
NADCO agreement.
Do you know that it is my party that removed the issue of the two-third gender rule from the NADCO report? Removed it.
Why do you
so that it
still-
does not go as a train.
Okay.
Removed it so that in the event we pass the NADCO, which we did, the two-third gender would not be part of it. That was my party.
Okay.
Finally, sexual and gender-based violence, Alela. 2025, we were supposed to ensure the security, the safety, and the dignity of all women. All. You tell me how many cases you're reporting in these your media houses and what is being done. You tell me how many women are reporting things and they're just sitting and nothing is happening. We were supposed to increase gender desks, the officers. We have not even scratched the surface of understanding whether gender desks are working.
Gloria, let's allow Mushimiwa come in.
But I want
briefly,
to tell you,
I want you to respond, and I'll allow you time to respond.
Allegiance.
And that's my.
I have not
that's my worry.
shifted my party.
Gloria,
my
allow
party,
me to
the one
ask
I signed up to, had ideologies.
which is not
Which I
aligning
signed
by
up.
that. Why do you still sit
Now
in
my
office?
party has shifted.
Why do you
from
still
the
sit in office
because,
knowing very well that your
because
party...
Alela, me, when people were standing there signing the women charter, I was even emceeing that event. If there's something I said I will die for in this country, is to at least ensure three things.
Hold it. We'll be coming
And
back
I'm
to
still
understand
there
everything.
trying to fight to the end of it to ensure,
All right.
you know, and I hope my party leader is listening.
Gloria Orwoba, with all due respect,
I hope
allow
my
us
party
to-
leader
I
is
hope
listening.
he does listen. If he
Yes.
doesn't, at least he has very many communication, persons under him, and therefore they are listening, and they will definitely pass the message. Mheshimiwa, how do we look at this Wamunyoro affair and basically the opposition leaders that are conglomerating or coming together without pinpointing elements of tribalism, without pinpointing, concerns that we would say these are the same monkeys, and perhaps there's nothing much they're going to bring to Kenyans?
First and foremost, I'm very happy that Matiang'i went home and mobilized his kinsmen. Just now I saw in DStv when I was sitting at the reception, Nairobi MPs congregating like Luya leaders.
Yes.
I've just seen it. So this is the way to go. So when Wamunyoro says, in fact we are very happy, at least this thing has vindicated Rick G, because the president has been calling him tribal, when he says, let us join together so that we are one group. As we go to the other people, we are one. Then they craft their agenda, and the agenda is to make good what has been destroyed by this regime. For that one, I am very happy that it has happened. You know what Ruto was trying to push Rigathi to, is that he's tribal. You have just seen him here telling he's tribal, we don't want this tribalism. I want to tell you one thing, because I was very
But Rigathi himself,
I was
that he is unapologetically...
He is, because that's the way to go. I cannot bring you what I don't have.
Okay.
Yeah. So I get my people, and then when we talk now, because you have your people, This is what happened in 2002, my dear.
Right.
You saw it, and it worked a miracle because we were able to remove the Kanu regime. So for me, what I saw in Wamunyoro today is where Kenya should go. That we are all here, and we know everything is wrong. Something has gone wrong. There's so many things that we said. There's so many things that we told people. That nobody, the president doesn't care what you people say. He was so humble when we went round, when he told the youth that there are going to be jobs. Now we hear them being exported to do some menial jobs out there.
And I mean, one individual here is watching and asking, it would be a great mistake to take the entire community to another shocking experience, perhaps referring to the Mount Kenya region. Let the people decide on an issue-based person from whichever corner of the country.
Absolutely.
How can you speak to the people? Absolutely, of course. And I mean, everybody else would.
That's step two.
Is that the plan?
That's step two. That's where we are going.
Okay.
Yes, that's where we are going.
How do you convince the mountain, the entire mountain, to shift to that direction, and the nation at large? And that, of course, then it will be an issue-based conversation, ideology-based conversation. Because then we have these faces that we get scared of, because they've been here long enough, perhaps we have not seen anything different.
I am telling you that is step two. First and foremost,
What is the plan?
We all agree that everything is wrong.
Okay.
Everything has gone wrong in this country. There's nothing that's working. May it be health, may it be education, may it be farming, nothing is working now. So now that one we know and everybody know. We are dealing with leaders who are responsible, who have been in this country. And they know the next step is now to start, this comes towards the end. Let us first of all gel that we have an agenda here to make things work that are not working. Otherwise, if you start telling people, I'm going to do this, we are not there yet. We want them to sit, agree, now we know everything is wrong. And then what came out today, and I think I'm very happy, is that they are not going to be selfish. There's no personal interest.
How possible, Mheshimiwa, is Kalonzo Musyoka who's interested in being president, when there's Fred Matiang'i who's interested in being president, when there is Rigathi Gachagua whom, if the courts then favor him, he is interested for the very same seat, when there is Martha Karua interested for, how can we speak of having all these people in the same room and not have elements of selfishness?
Were you here in 2002?
I was.
Maybe you are too young.
I was here.
You are here.
Yes, of course, and I know.
Did it work?
Kibaki Tosha.
Did it work? It can work. We are not.
But for how long did it hold? Until we got to 2007 and 2008.
Well,
because we need something that is sustainable.
We know where we went wrong because we got in wrong characters.
All right.
Let me tell you, because I was in that parliament of 2002, though I was elected early 2003 in a by-election. I was there. Raila just walked out on Kibaki. That tells you it was his personal interest. Okay. And we have told these guys, it's not about you guys, it's not about Matiang'i, it's not about Gachagua, it's not about Kalonzo, it's about Kenya. We want you to think Kenya. So that once you give us one, we all support. Your followers will support.
We're coming to talk about the Gen Z affair, the young tax affair, because then also they need to be represented. We probably do not get to see these. You will tell us whether they are somewhere, behind the scenes and perhaps are joining forces as well. But Gloria Orwoba, you seem to be uncomfortable, correct me if I'm wrong, if it's an allegation again, when you hear that there is now Matiang'i joining forces and everything. Do you suppose he would be taking the right direction? Because it comes across as a...
You see, sometimes it looks easier to say unity of purpose is to remove the person.
Okay.
Because what will happen when you remove the person and you have no vision, you will not solve the problems that we are having now. You will not. The issue that we are having now is that we have a leader who had a vision. But to be honest, Alela, you look at the team that has been put in place and you wonder, how will these people execute the vision?
Okay.
Alela, today as I was driving here to studio, I'm telling you, I've been sent YouTube clips of youth being misused. You know that I took this issue of the fake jobs, diaspora jobs.
Right.
I took it to the Senate for inquiry through a statement. Alela, I personally believed in that program to the extent that I went to market the program Mashinani. Because the issue that we have Mashinani is that the program and the National Employment Authority was telling us that you have to go online to get a job. Now how many people in Mashinani can go online? On what device? How? Where? Are they capable to go online? So I was bridging a gap. I went to Mashinani with National Employment Authority. Photos and videos are there. We went, we marketed the program, we convened those people, told them to come for interviews so that they can be selected on the basic requirements. Alela, a team from Bobasi constituency that I led, was delivered to National Employment Authority and to the Ministry of Labor.
All right.
If I tell you that more than 90 of those people were conned under the watch of that program, you will not believe it. By the time I brought the inquiry to the Senate as a statement, I had already been shouting behind the scenes.
All right.
Through the minister, you will see the messages here, you will see phone calls, all of that is documented. Through my party leader, who is the president, I completely sent all these things. When I realized is it that these people don't care about this thing? Then I said, okay, in any case, I'm a legislator. Let me take a statement to the floor of the House. I took a statement to the floor of the House. The moment the statement landed, all these other people from all other quarters started coming out saying, even may I remove 55,000, it became a whole thing. You have seen the stories that are running in the media. Now, the Cabinet Secretary of Labor is supposed to appear in the Senate on Tuesday. What does he do? The whole weekend, he's busy in a circus, paying 2 or 3 youth to stand in front of a camera and say, Mimi nilikochiwa na Senator Orwoba. Yes, Alfred Mutua, you can pay 2 or 3 youth. But let me tell you something. The Kenyans who will show up because they have been conned, I don't know how many people you'll be able to bribe or con to be able to stand in front of a camera and lie. Because already in Bobasi, there are still 90 waiting for their refund. Plus. Now Alela, you ask yourself, because sometimes I sit like this in my, in my house, I have a corner window somewhere for reflection. I sit like this and I'm like, ama ni mimi nimevuta bangi. Because it cannot be I'm the only one who is seeing the cluster, the mess that we are doing, and everyone is quiet.
And we're perhaps deep in it, Honorable.
And Alela, what is so strange is that I bring it to our forums and I say, guys, because the same cabinet secretary will come to that same forum and he will write an advertisement in that WhatsApp group. Members of parliament, we are now going to be doing a recruitment drive in such and such county. If you know of eligible youth, please send them. I had to go to that forum and tell them, do not send people here, they are being conned. Munaribiwa ground.
Now that we can't...
It is being done in the public.
What is being done to address this in the few years that you still are in power or in reign?
Alela...
Or better yet, what would be
a nominated senator,
your hands are...
Look at me.
You can only do much.
I've taken a statement to the floor of the House. You cannot believe the backlash I have gotten from my party because I am playing oversight in some crap that I'm seeing is happening. I am now sitting in front of in that labor committee trying to ask questions, making sure that the truth comes to light. And in a weekend, you can see the amount of circus that is being sponsored by the cabinet secretary trying to cover up. I have literally sat down in my reflection corner in my house and I've asked myself, Gloria.
This is not the party.
No, this is not why I came here.
Okay, this is not why you came here.
And Alela, I'm 39 years.
Women don't tell.
I'm 39 years old this year. I'm very young. You are not about to retire me from any career by using me to mop the floor.
Okay.
You are not going to ruin my name because you think you only have another 10 years.
Are you telling Kenyans that 2027...
What I say.
Yeah, you're right.
I am telling you...
Let's allow
Nothing is working.
Okay.
Me, I want to just conclude.
Nothing is working.
You see, I cannot...
Dissolve parliament to do what exactly? What are you telling us? Because we still are paying you.
I have not
taxes.
You
have to make it,
Me, I have to
cut to chase.
That's not what I'm saying, Jane.
Cut to chase.
Because you see, Jane, I can't say nothing is working because that's also not truthful. Because I have seen things that are working.
Right.
But you see,
You want to ask for example, but
I have.
Okay,
I've seen the fertilizer program actually working, despite some challenges. I have seen it. Honestly, I've seen the school feeding program working. We have a long way to go, but I've seen it working.
Okay.
And there are some wins here and there. There are some infrastructural programs which are working. Maybe because they are inspired by the procurement and the people behind it, fine, but they're still working. So I've seen some things working. Even the free sanitary pads program, after shouting and what you call drama, we moved from 265 million to 1 billion. It doesn't mean it covers all the girls. It does not cover all the girls. But there was one step was taken. But you know what happened after that one step was taken? we went back 100 steps.
All right.
Because now even we are fighting for the money. Should it go to NGAF? Should it go to the ministry? It has become an issue of personal interest instead of pads to the girls of Kenya. But Alela, what I want to confirm today is I am 39 years old.
Okay.
I'm too young to be retired by people like Alfred Mutua, who literally are on their tail end of their political career.
Okay.
They cannot come and do circus, mess up my name, because they think that we are just pawns to be put. People say, this nominated senators...
Gloria Orwoba, Jane has pronounced himself on that matter. Are you telling Kenyans that perhaps UDA is not the party, Kenya Kwanza is not the party, come 2026, 2027? Because it looks like we have given up and that there is nothing much that can change. Perhaps you will tell us that.
I'm telling Kenyans, we signed with you charters. I am responsible for the Women Charter, which I am nominated under. It would be very unfair for me not to say anything when literally the charter has been closed and set aside.
Fair enough.
I have to come out here and tell you that the charter has been closed, it has been set aside. The other people can come here and try to justify what they are justifying. We know inside the WhatsApp group how we are struggling as women. We know how that team has handled women. We know how women are treated even in those convenings.
All right, Gloria Orwoba. All right, fair enough.
And I'm saying I've had it. I've had enough.
And perhaps Kenyans would say that they're desperate for change, for, fresh leadership, for different minds, for ideology-based kind of politics, for politics that is tolerance and not intolerant. I mean, what is this that can be promised to them from what it is that you as leaders are coming together to coalesce on?
We have to believe in ourselves. When we see that things are not working, somehow we have to think of a way out. And this is what these leaders are doing. And those who follow them, we are going to support them. I was in the forefront fighting for this government. I fought the longest. And we promised so many things. Those charters were signed. Those economic forums were signed. We went round. I'm telling you, if the president was interested in fixing Kenya, he would just have sat in the office and addressed those forums because everything he was given there. But instead, and this is our frustration, is that you have seen a man who has completely turned the other way and does things that you people never expected. Personally, I feel very cheated because of the things we promised. And at some stage, you would think that he was laughing at us. If you see me, if you saw him on that roof of the car, he would talk, and then when people cheer him, he laughs at us. This is the time I realized that was actually laughing at the way he has cheated us. And he knows he was not going to do it.
But where is the place of the Constitution, the rule of law, the place of you who are legislatures, an independent, entity, perhaps, an arm of government?
Do you know our president?
Is it a one-man show?
Never supported this constitution in the first place.
Okay. And you elected him knowing that very well.
And I think, of course, it was continuity. He was there in the previous. We didn't just get him from the bush. Here he was. We know him. He has been there. So if you defeat you, then you join us.
How far have you gone with the allegations that have been made by the former Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, in relation to the concerns he's raised as to the current regime? Quite damning revelations. Him, of course, the former Attorney General, or the former, let's just say, Speaker of the National Assembly, that is Justin Muturi. Very serious allegations. Just how far have you people taken it as a team that supports Rigathi Gachagua, but basically also a team that has been part of the UDA government and now feel like, it is not taking the right trajectory?
I don't know what you mean by asking how far we have taken it.
Yes, at the level of the courts.
Here we are.
Do you suppose we could have addressed them better? Because these are allegations we can't just sweep under the carpet.
When you get to your house today, you know how you want to fix it. We thought Ruto would fix this country because we told him all that needed to be said. And in any case, in fact, he's the one who was leading the campaign, saying this is what is happening, this is what is happening, this is what we are not going to do. But instead, he has just done the opposite. You have had it. He's going to give youth jobs. Now he's exporting them. You just heard what Senator Orwoba is saying. As it is, the minister himself is scapegoating by fixing other people, saying you brought them. I mean, everybody, because their leader is lying, the ministers lie. Because you want to support him. You want to support what he is saying. And that is where they parted with Rigiji. Because this is not what we said. This is not what he said.
Fair enough. This is not happening, and you people are still in office. You've decided that you're not going to resign.
I want to answer your question.
All right.
Because you asked a very important question. Because you see, it would be unfair to say it's not us who have failed.
Ruto that. And,
it's Ruto who has failed.
Yes.
That's very unfair. And that's why I measure my words, because we all have a responsibility. By the time you're even nominated, the way they keep telling you, you're nominated, okay, I'm nominated. Yeah, was I supposed to sit there as a flower?
You must at least.
I have to work,
yeah.
Right? As legislators, my expectation from our team as well, which is why when you see me talking like this, by the way, it is like a heartbreak. Because the same legislators who were as passionate as I am have given up. So they have even given up their work. Yet your work should be the oversight. Your work
we are dealing with a one-man show.
Okay.
Your work should be
right.
no, but you see, there has to be accountability. You can't throw your hands up and say Ruto has failed us, so even us we have gone to Amunyoro or we have gone to Matiang'i. It is like, were you the one sitting in State House also? No. Me, what have I done? Accountability must come from everyone. And I agree with you. That's why in my head, every time when I'm going to work, when I'm going to Parliament, I'm like, okay, maybe my party leader has been distracted. Maybe my party has left their ideologies. But me, I still have the ideologies and I still believe in what I sold to the people of Kenya. So what am I going to do? That's why you look at my pieces of legislation, which, by the way, Alela, I feel very bad because they are always downplayed. I have legislated against the Kenya Kwanza Women Charter. I have legislated on free sanitary pads. The bill is there on second reading. I have legislated, I am supporting a bill on child protection. We talked about teenage mothers ensuring they go back to school and everything. We talked about the ICT sector.
Could it be that maybe you have not taken time to understand how bills are crafted? What is this wrong about the very many bills that you present that look very...
No, my bills are in the floor of the House.
And that's the question. Why is it that they're always pushing them down?
The Konza Technopolis bill that KJ was celebrating in the National Assembly that he passed there, that was my bill. That was my bill, which they literally, men, I say this because it's men, which the men in the Senate decided wakapiga hiyo kitu 1+1, wakaniangusha na 2 votes. They picked the bill as is, tabled it in the National Assembly under KJ. KJ passed it, they were celebrating KJ. That's my bill. That was my bill. I failed with 2 votes. Okay. Number 2, I have the free sanitary pads bill. That one is now on the second reading. We finished second reading. We are waiting to vote for it. I must get 24 votes. I don't know how it's going to play out now because, you see, it looks like I'm fighting my own government. But my point is, I have reached there. I have justified why we are legislating for free sanitary pads. If the politics wants to play out against the women of Kenya, we will see at the floor.
Let me ask you, with Gigi here.
ICT, I have legislated economic empowerment. If you go and look at I have 6 bills. Protection of women under sexual harassment, whistleblower bill, my bill on the floor of the House. So, you also, if I have to give a report card of the work that I've done in less than 3 full years, I have done my part. Oversight, I am the one who's asking about Linda Mama. Alela, we talked about Linda Mama being removed because we are doing a more comprehensive one. This one, I'm not telling you out of rumors. I have been pregnant. I have gone to Pumwani and I have gone to Mama Lucy for my, unlike other people who are going to the US. I've gone to this.
We're not here to attack,
for my postnatal and prenatal and whatever. And I'm telling you that Linda Mama is not working.
Okay, fair enough.
So me,
Gloria, let me ask you,
experiences.
because you are leaders, and we need to get some element of hope. We need to get some element of hope from the two.
This is the hope I want to give.
Are you going to vie? Do you have interest in continuing with politics?
I want
you say no one is going to drag you behind.
First of all,
let's allow Jen say something first, because then Jen, you have had Gigi here saying that maybe politics is not his place because of the kind of frustration that he has found in the House, and I know I'm not supposed to speak for him. He should declare that. But now that he told us, and you are here, evidence-based, do you suppose that you still would want to go to the people of Kenya and ask for their vote to lead them at that level of parliament, or maybe at a higher level, yet you feel frustrated yourself as a leader? How do you sell them any element of hope in terms of, what they should expect coming out of the houses, the two houses, the Senate as well as the National Assembly?
As opposed to what Senator Orwoba is saying, this bus called Kenya, we have one driver in the name of William Ruto.
Okay.
William Ruto is the one we followed because he had a beautiful agenda. We had a plan, they call it a plan, which we followed. What we are saying is that since this is not working, we need to change the regime. We need to change the regime because now we know what is not working. We don't want to do things that we never told people and expect to tell them that now we are doing better things. Why don't you start here where you told this youth, this industrialization. You know, I've been in this country longer than Orwoba here. Senator is 39. I'm not going to tell you how old I am because maybe I could.
Okay.
But when there was industrialization in this country, youth would walk in industrial area to the gate, just to the gate. You are not employed, but they all got jobs because this industry is hiring, this industry is hiring, this is hiring. And that was the solution. Industrialize the country. Instead of telling youth that you're going to export them, why don't you create their jobs here? This is something that can be done. This is something that has happened. So what we are saying is, when you said that, did you mean it? Some of us believed you because we thought that was a solution. There are so many things we did.
You know, I will forgive Honorable Gloria Orwoba because she says, well, perhaps it's a mistake of very many people. But when you talk about one man and running the events one-man show, Article 145 of the Constitution speaks of the removal of the president by impeachment. Members of Parliament, if at all they feel like, well, perhaps the president is not running the show as should be, is there any of you who has proceeded to say that perhaps, you know, there is that need to proceed and impeach the president, or perhaps the grounds that we might have right now would not be good enough? Because when you stand here to say that it's a one-man show, you know very well that the Constitution does not allow for the things to be that way. Why is it that there's no one who's raised, you know, a concern in saying that perhaps this is not the right president? We need to adjust the leadership. And why are you laughing? Maybe I could be off. I stand corrected.
Let me take you back to when we passed this constitution. You know why we put the president and the deputy president
As a presidency?
As a presidency in one ballot. During Moi's time, Moi would appoint and fire the vice president at his whims every time and again. And we said, no, we don't want this. You know, there was a time he stayed, I think, for almost 1 year without a vice president. We said, so that it is difficult, let them be put in this ballot together. But now the president has shown us, and I go back to the Constitution, he bastardized the Constitution by showing Kenyans that actually you can impeach your deputy by paying leaders, giving them money.
Did he?
Of course he did. It's all over. They have, where I was today, they were saying.
Gloria Orwoba does not seem to agree to that.
I didn't get any money.
Maybe she did not get any money.
I did not get any money.
Okay.
I impeached nobody.
Right.
By the way, I'm sitting here, I'm like, where
money
is that
exchange
money?
hands?
You know.
maybe
And you think the grounds that were presented
let me tell you where I was.
Money.
Where I was, because we had wiper MPs and we had wiper senators who said we refused to be bribed. And when, of course, this is an open secret. Money was being carried in boots of the car.
You think the grounds that were presented were not good enough?
They were not enough. And anyway, we are going to...
Do you foresee a scenario where then the courts will vindicate?
Well, that is not for me to say. I think we just have to wait.
Because if you have confidence...
Until it's pronounced by the court.
This was a political...
But if you read the Constitution, none of those allegations appear like they can see the light of the day.
All right. Anyway, Gloria Orwoba, I'm looking at a photo here of Rigathi Gachagua. I'm looking at a photo of Martha Karua, Muhisa Kitui. I am looking at a photo of Matiang'i. In one photo, looking at a photo of Eugene Wamalwa, Kalonzo Musyoka, Mithika Linturi, Justin Biden Muturi, and the Kenyan youth are asking, where are we?
And they should ask. They should ask. That's why you see me, I respectfully don't want to be pushed into that narrative of we are grouping to remove Ruto, because that is not my agenda. My agenda, honestly, is like Mheshimiwa Kihara said, we have very beautiful charters. We had very beautiful, ambitious programs. Why aren't we executing those programs? My agenda is literally, and I really am hoping that even my party leader, I understand my party chair, Cecily Mbariri, has said I must be removed from the party. And, you know, I was just thinking while that was being written in that forum that, you know, the party must be dignified, Gloria must be removed from the party, you know, she has gone rogue. And, you know, I have never seen Cecily Mbariri talking about removing anyone from the party until Gloria Orwoba came out and said, why are we not executing the Women Charter, right? Now, here is a woman who is the chair of a party that, and that is one of the reasons I was also very interested in being a member of that party. We even have a woman who is a chair. Here is a woman who has been very quiet. Nobody has heard from her when Wamunyoro were doing the things they were doing. When all these senators from the mountain were going rogue and even abusing our party leader. That lady, who I respect, was quiet, like an envelope. Like
but you understand the rules of the game,
listen,
the rules of the party,
no, we must call it out.
Okay.
We must call it out. I'm calling it out. Where was she? She has been quiet, not talking.
When things are not happening.
No. If she says that I'm going rogue, we have had Senator Methu, Senator Thangwa, we have had all these people coming out and speaking about agriculture, things that they think are going wrong. We have had, some of them have outrightly abused our party leader.
Okay.
Alela, I need you to allow me to finish this. They have come
as we close, because
I have listened to some of the senators, which you will never catch me dead abusing any politician. They've come out to abuse our party leader. But our party chair, who's a woman, has been quiet. She didn't imagine those people are members. Suddenly, Gloria comes out and says, guys, we are not giving free diapers to women. So this is not where I want to be. We are not giving this free sanitary pads. We are not looking at the safety of women. Okay. And then a woman chair comes out and says, that lady from Kisii has gone to receive Matiang'i from the airport. So I'm just asking myself, do they have a problem with me as Gloria Orwoba? Or do they have a problem with that I come from the Kisii community?
Okay.
Or do they have a problem it's that I am a woman who is speaking out? Because we have seen people from Kirinyaga, men speaking out, from the mountain speaking out. We have seen even people from Rift Valley speaking out against the things that are going wrong.
We have to close.
But she doesn't have a problem with it. A woman, she has no problem.
Okay, Jane Kihara, could you please call Gloria Orwoba on party loyalty as we come to a close?
But Alela, we have to
close.
You know why we have to call this one out? Because we keep saying we want to bring women to politics. Yet it is the women in politics who keep cutting us off.
So you don't want to be called out when the party chairperson feels like you are going astray, but you want to call out the party.
If she was calling us out equally, you understand?
It could have been a different
Yeah, because it is the same. You are the chair.
But you also understand that it can never be equal.
Listen to me. You are the party chair to Thangwa. You are the party chair to Triza, who's nominated in the National Assembly.
Okay.
You are the party chair to all these people who have said things are going wrong. I'm going to move aside a little bit and do my thing here. Now, you have just remembered you're the party chair to Gloria Orwoba from Kisii, from the Gusii region.
Right, fair enough. Close it for us.
So you want to remove her. Is it that you don't like the Gusii community? Or is it that the Mount Kenya
the message is home
is untouchable?
The democracy,
I want to give my last message of hope.
As we close. The democracy,
the democracy we talked about is nowhere in this government.
Okay.
I was a vice chair of a lands committee. But the fact that I chose not to impeach Rigathi, I've been removed. That's why
Were you removed, or these are just normal adjustments that, you know?
No. It's just because those who voted against Gachagwa's impeachment, they were the ones who were moved. My dear.
You know we've been following on this, and we understand the adjustments.
I am telling you, you are following, I am there. Wewe ni kufollow, mimi niko pale.
Usiseme tu ni hivi totally. It is not that way totally. But also again, party allegiance is critical. And if you're not going to...
Party allegiance to remove...
Yes.
Yeah. My vote, I need to be heard. My vote needs to be heard. It needs to be respected. That I didn't want to remove Rigathi Gachagua. Full stop.
Okay,
and
full stop.
But Alela, I want to...
we have to close 30 seconds.
But now when you want to remove me from all the committees, because you think you don't like me because I didn't.
Alela,
These are things.
All right, let's send.
I want to say party allegiance is very critical.
Yes.
But party allegiance is aligned to the party ideologies.
Right.
And you cannot force me to just be loyal to mediocrity.
Okay.
I have to be loyal to the ideologies of the party.
All right.
And that I agree. Party allegiance is 100. I don't expect, in fact, I don't expect to get any less. The treatment I'm getting now is what I expected, right? But I also have to call it out and say, it should cut across, but you brought me to this party because you knew what I'm passionate about. You don't expect me to turn around and stop being passionate about it because you don't care about it. But Alela, because we sat here for 2 hours, let me conclude by saying, I don't think all is lost, Alela. I don't think all is lost. And that is why I have chosen to quickly say, this is my statement. All is not lost. We are 3 years into this term, which means we have, let's say, a solid year before people start running around and campaigns. And I honestly, because I know my party leader, and because I know that truly when he was going around to the country and selling those promises, I know that he really meant what he wanted to do. The things he signed. And what I want to say is that we have given him so many excuses. Like the first year we were saying, Simbaya, wale wamem, zingira. Because it was true, yeah?
He inherited
the second year we were like, awa wamem zingira, mbona hawawaangushi? You know? And then I was happy because Gen Z came and they helped us to remove wale wamem zingira. And then now I look at the people remaining, starting with Alfred Mutua, who's out here.
You look like you're on a mission.
No, I'm not on a mission. I'm on a mission to call out the things that are happening. And the one that I can speak directly on is this labor expert.
And now that we're here, what do we do?
And I'm saying all is not lost. But please, my party leader, I know that I appear to be, they say that I'm crazy, I'm this and that. But in that craziness and in that drama, I am the only honest person that you have remaining. And I am telling you, all is not well. And the people who are mekuzingira, that narrative is not running anymore. Because you have the choice to say, come out, come out.
Asante.
We have 1 year left. And I hope that he does that because because I truly believe that the things that he promised the people of Kenya, that he actually believes in them and he has every intention to fulfill them. However, it's not happening.
Honorable Jane Kihara, 30 seconds as we close. What do you tell the people of Kenya?
I'm going to tell the people, wafunge mchipi, tighten your belts. It's not going to be any better. We know what is happening to the ground. Children are sleeping without food. They're not going to school. They're not doing anything. But there is time to adjust by just removing this government. And this is, you know, when senators says that when campaigns start, campaigns have started.
They've started.
And it is Ruto himself who started. In fact, I once asked him, why are you back on the roof, sunroof? People would start calling you a liar. Kumbe, he was on his campaign.
All right, of course.
He refused to sit in the office and work. In fact, if he sat in the office and work and come out maybe the 3rd year, that's something else. But he started immediately.
Well, we haven't spoken about the political events in Migori today, but all the same, I know we'll have time to discuss that. And
but that was very sad, eh?
That was unfortunate.
Yeah, because you might hate.
We have to close.
You might hate whoever you want to hate, but it's the office.
Yes.
It's the office. It's not even the person. Because let me tell you, when Matiang'i gets into office, no one wants to see him being thrown shoes.
That's true.
You must respect the office.
Are you saying that Matiang'i should get to?
I'm just saying when Matiang'i gets into the office.
Honorable Gloria Orwoba, nominated senator as well as member of parliament of Naivasha constituency, Madam Kihara Jane. Thank you so much, ladies, for speaking to us. We also appreciate that Gigi Kagombe made it here. And of course, we also get greetings from Gogoyo, who as well could not stay longer for the conversation. But all in all, we appreciate your feedback as well. Before we come to a close, let's appreciate what's happening in the world of sports. And Kenya Premier League champions Gor Mahia edged